Hello again, and welcome to episode 166 of SDGC for Thursday, October 17th. If you're not already aware, Super Deformed Gamescast meets right here each and every Thursday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we discuss the latest gaming headlines with a wide variety of panel members and guests. We also do a whole bunch of other stuff as time allows, like a separate show about movies and television, pre-recorded content, and a bi-weekly morning show every other Friday. If you've been along for the ride so far, welcome home. And if not, hey, feel free to stick around and maybe throw us a subscription. Every single podcast is archived the next day on our YouTube channel for those who like to watch, and you can find us on all major podcast services for those who like to listen. Gentlemen, good evening.
Good evening.
How is everyone?
I'm here, man.
Yo, I'm good. I have a Kit Kat bar.
You do have a Kit Kat bar. It's just.
The
Are you
definition of a good night.
chasing your soup with a Kit Kat?
Yes.
What?
Yep, chicken noodle soup right into a Kit Kat bar. Yep.
Yeah, I respect it.
It's a fucking classic combination. I love it. We've already got people filling up the chat. That's always good to see. Good evening, everyone. Hey, look, Tom's with us again.
Hello.
Hi, Tom.
What's up, guys? What are we talking about tonight?
So
Well-
here's the deal, Tom. No, go ahead. So somebody explain the deal, Tom.
So there's been like no news. This has been a very slow last week. And we hit like.
We should
everything
say there
during-
was NPD today, but it was like NBA 2K's best-selling game of September and
Well,
Switch's best hardware.
There were
Yeah.
also those really good. There was also those Pokemon and Fallen Jedi impressions. as
Yeah,
well.
but like very good impressions. I don't know that there's a whole lot to talk about, like for
Mhm.
extended segments. Ultimately, it's been very light. So instead, we figured we'd have some fun tonight. We'd have a light night. We took a lot of questions, most of them incredibly stupid,
we got some real dumb questions, and I love
and
them.
we're
I love
going to
everything about
answer them. We're going to have a good, fun Q&A session. Stupid fucking question.
So Tom, that's what we're doing tonight, man. There's no topics tonight, dude. We're just gonna answer the crazy bullshit that our audience sends us, and some of these are off the fucking wall, man. I love these, and you know what? We are going to jump right into it, and this podcast, you know what? We may go an hour, we may go an hour and a half, we may go fuck it, who knows? We'll get to the end of these questions, and we'll see what happens from there. So who wants to introduce the first question? Jeff, do you want to kick us off, buddy?
Yeah, sure. We've got a question from Adam Bankhurst, which is, what video game world would you love to live in, and who would be your best friend from that universe?
And why? Adam, of course, a good friend of ours at IGN. That's a good one. Fuck, like I actually should have read these beforehand and come up with some.
Yeah.
Come up
Some
with
of them are really
coherent
hard to
answers.
answer on the
Yeah.
They
spot.
They are. Like, who? All right, who here? Honestly, my dogs. Are those my dogs? I don't know
That's
what they're
my
doing.
dog.
Oh, okay, all right. I was like, what the fuck? Dude, it sounds like it's in my ear. I keep thinking my dogs are upstairs.
That's how
barking.
headphones work.
Shut the
she's
fuck up.
She's new and she doesn't understand that she doesn't need to bark at every person that walks by.
Right.
Okay, so here's the deal. I would want to live in the world of the Quiet Man.
No, you wouldn't.
And my best friend would be the Quiet Man himself, Dane.
not his
because-
hot ass mom / wife.
No, not his mom wife. Dane would be my best friend because I could literally, like, he's deaf. He can't hear me, and so I could call him every name in the book and he wouldn't understand me. And
That game
I
was
could,
so bad. I feel like it'll still get forgotten at the end of the year. Like
I'm sure it
worst of
will.
Discussions.
it will.
Like,
That
it
was
won't
this
even, it won't
year.
even be remembered for being bad.
There's no way that was this year. No, it was
No,
last year. 'cause
No,
we
it was
did-
last year.
Was it really last
Yeah,
year? Has
yeah,
it
it's
been that long?
It's been that
It was
long.
end of
Can you
last
believe
year.
Far Cry New Dawn came out this year?
No, I don't actually.
It's been a long fucking year.
We measure time now by every year that passes after the Quiet Man. Like, this is your one
This is-
AQM after
yeah.
Quiet Man.
Yeah.
Or
Oh, wow.
time since Brandon played Rage 2.
Someone pointed out that Resident
Yeah,
Evil
like
was
see,
this
Rage
year.
2 feels like this year because
Yeah.
Okay.
I haven't played that many games this year.
Someone
Who-
pointed
who-
out to me that RE2 was this year, and I
was
lost
shocked.
my
Oh,
I
mind.
Yeah,
know,
that was
I
like
lost my-
February. That was
yeah.
like February. I can understand it.
It was January, I think.
It
No,
was.
it was January. Fuck.
It was like January
Fuck.
26th or something.
That's
Yeah.
really fucking depressing. It's really fucking me. Who wants to answer this question next? What about a game world that you want to live in, and who would be your best friend?
I mean, like we
I-
were just talking about Persona before we went live, which I think is
There you
cheating
go,
because
that's a good- yeah,
Persona
funny
is
good choice,
high school friends
Okay,
simulator.
but which Persona? This is
Persona
important.
4 best friends
Persona
with funky
4,
student.
right? Funky
You wanna be
student.
sucked into a TV and
dabby
murdered?
baby. Get out of here,
obviously-
funky student.
Are you gonna be friends with Chie or Teddy?
Okay, well, who's friends with Teddy? Who likes Teddy?
Nobody
No one
likes
likes
Teddy.
Nobody
Teddy.
likes
It's a
Teddy.
trick question.
No,
a trick
it's
question.
it's not a trick question because there's a good answer and a bad answer.
Chie is your friend. Just go ahead and say that
Yeah,
Chie.
Chie is your
That's
Chie
the
is
right
friend.
answer.
Chie is best girl.
Chie is the
She
correct.
is.
I'm just saying.
She really is. Oh,
I feel like that I
fucking
might
Reese fans out there.
I might also say just because it's been in the headlines, but Pokemon is another very safe answer that I want to get off the table right away. Nothing really bad happens in the world of Pokemon, and no matter what kind of friend you want, you can have one. So let's just get the easy one out of the way.
Tom, why don't you pick a game world for us, buddy?
I'm literally looking at my shelf right now to remember what
I'm doing the
video
same
games
thing.
came out.
Oh boy, obviously being like,
And I'm realizing how bad my collection of physical games is. Did you know they put out a physical version of there's a PS4 boxed copy of Conan Exiles because I have it on my shelf.
Oh, that's fucking fantastic.
isn't that like the shitty MMO?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Is that the one with the dick slider?
Yeah, it's the only video I put up that's gotten demonetized because I didn't censor the dicks well enough.
Yeah. No, like you guys know about the dick slider, right?
Yes.
No, I'm not familiar.
No,
It's like
Brandon,
that all.
Brandon, in the Conan MMO, there so like, you know, you can
Oh,
choose
the
how big your
yeah.
node is. Yeah, you can choose the size of your dong. It's pretty amazing.
They might as
I
well
get
not have included a
the
slider.
dong
Everyone's just gonna
slider.
max it out. Like,
Oh, hell yeah. No, I wouldn't. No, I'm not. I would have been that one guy who'd have had like the smallest dong
Yeah.
possible.
Do you guys remember the big
Like-
controversy with Rust where like people like
Yes, that I
Chuds got
do.
really mad because it would auto select your race and your dick size and you couldn't change it.
people got
Oh
so
my
mad.
God.
And it wasn't like
I had no
uninstall it and
fucking
reinstall
idea.
it. It was bound to Steam ID. So like once you bought the game, that's what you had.
So we haven't even finished our first question. We're already talking about dick size. Like, just
Hey, Conan
Anyway,
came up.
I've made my decision looking at my shelf, and it's Marvel's Spider-Man because it's just like living in regular New York already, just with more crime.
That's hilarious. That's so close to my answer.
Jeff, what is your answer?
I couldn't come up with a good answer, so I got a really bad one. I'm just gonna say Tony Hawk's Pro Skater.
Of course you fucking would, dude.
It's
Of
like
course you-
kind of like the real world, but it's a little crazier. And I don't know. I feel like my best friend would just be Tony Hawk, and we just like
I
hang
mean,
out.
Tony Hawk
on
is a
the-
pretty cool dude on Twitter.
He
so.
seems like a cool dude. Like
Yeah.
we wouldn't work because you don't work in that game. You just collect the cash by like going off ramps.
Oh
and
yeah, no,
half
dude,
pipes
it's
and
just
shit.
endless skating. You don't have to eat
Yeah,
or
and-
like go to the bathroom. You just skate.
Yeah, we
feel-
just
I feel so bad for Tony Hawk because people keep mistaking. People are like, you look just like Tony Hawk. He's that poor.
aren't you a
fucking
little
guy.
old skateboard? The
In,
flight
in the
attendants.
defense of everyone else, Tony Hawk does look remarkably like somebody who looks like Tony Hawk
He does. he's
without
weird.
looking like Tony
Yeah.
Hawk. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the question is, which level would I live in? I don't know. I like cruise ship.
Hangar. Oh.
Hangar's
Oh.
good.
Hangar's got. It's got to be the hangar, dude.
I might want some air though.
Okay,
Right, like,
school 2 then.
get-
You got it.
School
We're-
2. I like school 2.
Jeff, the proper answer is wherever you can pull off the sickest Christ air. That's the answer. That's the level.
You can get
Any
some
level-
good air in school.
Anytime you can get school, it is. Anytime you can pop off a sick Christ air, that or a backflip twist or backflip twist kick or whatever the fuck. Like, oh god, I want to play Tony Hawk's Pro.
I got
Skater
I
now.
got the flu my freshman year of high school, and I was bedridden for a week, and I just played Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1. I got so good at it, it was ridiculous.
I got
Yeah.
to just like recently this year introduce and walk everyone in my office through the installation process for Thug Pro.
Oh my
Oh
god!
yeah,
Yeah.
I've heard about it. Yeah, I've never
Thug
done it.
Pro.
Well,
Yeah,
Tony
so it's
Hawk Underground.
basically- It's
Yeah.
Tony Hawk Underground 2, and it's a mod for it that just puts in every optional character in every level from the history of Tony Hawk.
I mean, the old Tony Hawk games play really well on emulators. Like I
They
played
do.
THPS 3 on PCX2, and it was real good.
Yeah, the
Yep.
Underground one's not so much.
Thug
Yeah,
1
at least Tony
plays
Hawk 3
fine.
and 4,
Yeah, but
and 1 and
So-
2 you can play on PlayStation.
Project
and
8 runs like shit.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
that's okay because once you hit like American Wasteland onwards,
I was gonna say
you're
American
starting to-
Wasteland was my jumping
American
off.
Wasteland
yeah.
was the point where I realized that maybe Tony Hawk wasn't good anymore.
Yeah.
Is that the
yeah,
Bam Margera
same.
one?
No, that was one after that one. That was Thug 2. Bam
Yeah.
Margera
Oh, that was the
Thug
Bam
2, yeah.
Margera show.
And then American Wasteland was like the semi-open world one.
It was like pink and white, and there were.
It was
bikes.
the one that came out right like when the PS2 was turning into the 360 generation.
Oh, okay.
Brandon, what about you?
Yeah, it's hard. I've been thinking about it since you told me the question.
Brandon,
like
just
half an
say
hour ago.
Eorzea. Just say Eorzea. We all know it's Eorzea.
There's so yeah, like if man, because the kind of games I play don't have the nicest.
Don't have
like,
the worlds you want to live in.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't know, like, I mean, Overwatch. There's some friendly ass characters there.
Brandon, are you telling me you
Winston
want to live
and-
in the Crystarium?
I mean, okay.
Okay, but you
like,
could be
the
bros with
Crystarium is
Winston.
amazing.
And
Yeah, like-
Winston is basically just knockoff Beast from X-Men. So how could
That's
you not
exactly-
want that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
are you-
Beast
so wait,
X-Men
That's
is
fucking exactly what he is.
so what you guys are telling me that you do not, none of you want to live in the Detroit of Detroit Become Human.
I can't say that I do. Or that I've even played it.
Does David Cage live in that Detroit?
Oh,
Does he have
Almost
like the
certainly.
penthouse and the tallest tower?
I'm still just looking at games on my shelf. I like can't remember any games that have come out.
I will
I'm
say,
just taking a note right now that Tom has a physical copy of Detroit.
I do. Actually, I borrowed it from my boss a week after it came out, and I still have yet to finish it or give it back.
He just doesn't care.
If you
No,
have
I-
something
no.
for like more than 6 months, I've learned people just forget about it.
No, he remembered because he's
Oh.
like, I should play that again because he likes David Cage games.
Yeah.
And he's like, it was on sale for $10. So I just bought it digitally, so I don't give a fuck anymore.
I
You
would,
what now?
I would actually, I'd like a serious answer. I would live in Lauren from Dark Souls, and I would just be one of those. I would be one of those guys who sat on a and laughed creepily. Every
Yeah,
time
you're
you
just the
talk to
guy
him.
in the Firelink Shrine
Yeah,
fucking with people.
I
all
would
the
just,
time.
I would just sit at the Firelink Shrine, and when people talk to me, I just go,
That's perfect.
like that's exactly that would be my role in Lord Drift. Just the creepy dude on the fucking log.
Fuck, I'm looking at my shelf too, and it's like Silent Hill.
Oh
I got
God,
my-
that's
Well, my
no!
shelf, it's got like all my older games. So I've got like Silent Hill, Resident Evil, Resistance, God of War, like it's Demon Souls. This is all terrible, terrible.
Yeah,
suffering.
same.
Can we all
Same.
agree? Can we all agree that we'd want to live in Hyrule?
I was thinking,
Absolutely
yeah.
not. It's constantly in like a state of cataclysm.
Okay, like, The 2 days that Hyrule is nice, and there's no calamity.
yeah, right. Or like post-apocalyptic Hyrule from Breath of the Wild. You just find a nice grassy knoll and read a book. Like, I mean, I'd live there, dude.
The phrase "grassy knoll."
Grassy. Find a nice grassy knoll.
I've got some literature for you guys.
Yeah.
But
All right,
that would suck because every fucking hill you try to climb, you just would like collapse to the ground after 3 steps. Your stamina runs out.
All right, let's move on to another question. This one is from @Susie Lemingroad on Twitter. She wants to know bed, wed, behead, basically marry, fuck, kill, or Doom Guy, Mario, Adam Jensen. Ooh, you fuck Adam Jensen, right? Like you fuck Adam Jensen.
I feel like you marry Adam Jensen.
No, you marry
Even after
Mario.
that.
You marry Mario. What the fuck are you thinking? Mario is wholesome. He'll
I
look
want to
after
hang out with Mario, that cuck.
dude. Mario. Jesus Christ, Tom. Fucking Mario. So, dude, Mario runs around. Mario runs around. Peachy in chat wants to know: did we talk about the ball brush already?
The what?
Can we not talk about that?
We're not gonna. Talk
I don't know that there's much to say about that one.
No, we're
If
not.
you would
We're
like
not
more
gonna-
ball brush content, just go to John's Twitter
Just
page.
go to my
There's
Twitter. I had a-
many tweets about it.
I had a blast with that today. So Waypoint set in chat makes a good point. Mario does not fuck. So
doesn't.
I would
Luigi, on the
agree.
other hand,
I would agree.
That
Luigi,
guy fucks.
Luigi straight up fucks.
we
Yeah.
know
Um,
we've seen his dick. Basically,
Luigi
remember,
fucks
remember when everyone
men.
was doing? Remember when everyone was doing Luigi dick math? Like people were doing
Yes.
trigonometry to figure out the size of his dick?
Yes, yes,
This sounds like something that would happen on the internet.
yeah.
So
It's horrid.
I would say that you definitely you fuck Adam Jensen, you marry Mario, and you kill Doom Guy because dude, like you won't survive sex with Doom Guy. He's gonna cut your ass.
You
and have
won't be able to kill Doom Guy. He'll
Yeah.
rip
You
you
can't kill
apart.
Doom. Are you
I don't
kidding
even
me?
think that's a
Yeah.
fair option.
Doom Guy, are we going blue? Because I'd say that Doom Guy definitely busts like a shotgun.
Yeah.
Like, you just die.
Unquestionably.
Doom Guy is like taking the phrase like "let's rearrange some guts" quite
Yeah.
literally.
Oh my god.
Maybe-
rip and tear until it is done.
He's an
Maybe-
aggressive.
This is the worst question.
This
maybe
is bad.
maybe you marry Doom Guy because
'Cause,
he's
yeah.
gonna be off busy all the time anyway, so it's not a big
absolutely
commitment.
not. No,
on
no,
your
Derek,
part.
a Doom Guy is an abusive husband. Come on, we all know
No,
that.
because he's got to be at the house to abuse you,
He's
and you'll
always
never
mad.
be
He's
home.
always-
There is a
angry.
50-50 shot that Doom Guy's spaceship or space car, whatever the fuck it is,
Space
has a
truck.
fucking Punisher decal with a Blue Lives Matter stripe.
And
on it.
a,
Dude.
and a Monster Energy sticker.
No,
Yeah.
dude, Doom Guy's space truck absolutely has fucking truck nuts. Like 150%. He's got
He
fucking
ripped
chrome
off a
truck
Taco
nuts.
Demon or something. I don't fucking know.
He's got Cacodemon nuts. He's got fucking Cyber Demon nuts hanging off his truck. Okay, so look, here's the thing. You fuck Adam Jensen because he's got that baritone voice. You know, like he's a cyborg. Who fucking knows what he's hiding there? You know, like
He's got the pneumatic penis mod.
Right, exactly,
So-
right. Yeah, dude can mod his penis. So like obviously you fuck Adam Jensen. You marry Mario because Mario does not fuck, and Mario will take care of you. His whole job all day is to run
He
around.
is a
Mario won't take
provider.
care of you. He fucking loses Peach every single game.
No, but
Mario
but
can't
not-
keep track of his own shit.
But
Not
he's
through
steadily employed.
and he gets
Is
money.
he?
He literally his job is to run around and pick up money. That's his job. Why would you
What
not?
you're
want-
saying is he forages for cash. He's basically a
Jesus
He's
Christ.
diving down sewers and swimming
The
around.
only
He's a
person-
plumber. What the, fuck do you want from him?
The only person here who's actively, like, continually, gainfully employed is Adam Jensen. He's
Yeah.
the only one that gets a
Yeah,
fucking
but have you seen his
W2.
fucking apartments? Like,
He gets he's the only one who gets a W2. I don't even get a W2.
you can live in a
Adam-
mushroom. You can live in like the worst stereotype of a Detroit apartment, or you can live in hell. I mean, those are your three
Adam
options. and
Jensen always has a sweet ass fucking television. Like I'll give him that, right?
That's
like I
true.
wouldn't mind that fucking television, dude.
He
Like,
does
Can it-
smoke though.
He does, and that's
All right, that's okay. You're just making him even better.
If you want to,
Tom likes that raspy voice. Tom likes that raspy voice.
Can I just say, like, I respect Deus Ex, but it's just like there's Doom Guy and Mario, and then Adam Jensen. Like, two of these characters are more iconic than
Yeah,
Adam
like,
Jensen.
Adam Jensen is a strange inclusion.
Yeah, they should have put Luigi in there instead.
Luigi would have been good.
Everybody
or
would
like, or
fuck
no,
Luigi.
the bows. You should have put they should have put the bows in there. You know, like or Yoshi. Like, do you want to fuck a dinosaur? Well, here's your chance. You know, like.
look, man. No, I'm good.
All right,
I'm
All
not
I'm
into
Luigi-
saying is that
I'm not
Luigi
into
is
that
just
bad
one
dragon shit.
Luigi is just one big fucking hole.
Oh my god!
It's time to move on to the next.
It's time to move it. Derek, why did you read the fucking question, dude? Jesus Christ. Luigi wants to fuck but can't.
Luigi is just one
got
fleshlight like any
hands.
part of him you could have.
Yeah, but there is literally no way for he's made out of goo. There's no way for Luigi to fuck.
Buddy, you have not been on the internet long
Yeah.
enough.
Okay, you know what? You know what? Let's just move
Next
on.
question.
I don't. Let's move on. Please, Derek, read a fucking question.
I can't
dude.
because I'd have to get out of the full screen.
Do we label our podcast as like R or adult only or anything? Like, it's
I hope
Yes,
so.
we
I'm just
We're-
picturing like some guy listening to us in his car, and his like 5-year-old kids are in the back
Ray,
seat. and he's
Ray, I don't know
"Oh,
how
I'm
to
gonna
pronounce
throw on
this in
this."
chat. I don't know how to
just-
pronounce this in chat. I don't know who Ray WDDET is. I'm not going to fucking butcher that, but they say crazy part to jump into a podcast too. We haven't fucking begun. Okay,
Yeah.
welcome to SDGC.
Welcome to the Socktober Q&A fest.
Welcome to the fuck barrel. All right, Derek, why don't you?
I can't. I've been over this. I'd have to get out of Discord and that would.
all right, I got
Oh,
the
gotcha.
next one
Okay.
here.
Jeff,
I
go
want
ahead.
to talk about Luigi.
No, Tom,
We've
we're not
talked
talking
about
Luigi.
Luigi. Enough. That's enough.
Please.
Next question comes from Mitty on Twitter. It's
Hmm.
your
Mitty,
favorite,
one of our chat mods.
yeah, your favorite spooky games or levels or events. So spooky
one.
game scenarios, everything from Dead Space to Halloween events and Animal Crossing and stuff like that.
There are I love horror games, and there are so many fucking answers here for me.
Yeah, I can go first because I've got
Go
answers
ahead, man.
at
Yeah,
the ready.
please. Please go ahead.
I will say, if I want to talk about favorite horror game, favorite spooky game, period, overall, I'm gonna go with Evil Within 2. I'm
bold choice.
deeply fucking in love with that game. Now, admittedly, I think that game's really only works for what it is as a follow-up to the Evil Within 1 and as a kind of reflection on and rebuttal against a lot of what the Evil Within 1 was, which I love that game too, so I don't mean that in like a it fixed everything that was bad kind of way, but like Evil Within 2, probably my favorite scary game of all time. That has more to do with character writing than anything, but at the same time, every horror game has that like unkillable one-hit kill fuck monster, right? Like the fucking thing
right.
Tell me about the fuck monster.
Yes. So
tell us more about the fuck monster.
There is an optional monster that you can run into that is activated by a side quest. It will not show up at all in the game unless you do the side quest. You do the side quest, which you can do almost from the very beginning of the game. This unkillable fucking monster will pop up in the overworld.
Oh, is that the ghost?
Yeah.
Oh shit! The fucking like the.
You will be in the overworld,
yeah.
and suddenly the whole thing color shifts, and everything gets locked off.
Oh god,
and you're stuck with that thing, and it can happen anywhere.
I
literally anywhere.
I used to stress the fuck out when she would show up.
It has happened when I would be in like shacks with no hiding places.
Yeah, and all of a sudden
she'd be in the area.
She just
and she'd be like floating through. So like that is such a good, and the fact that monster, that character only shows up to this one fucking side quest and is completely missable otherwise, and it's one of the best parts of that game. That's what I got.
I think for me, like, there are two for me, and I'll do them very quickly. Like the first one, the two games that scared me the most, they're not even necessarily my favorite horror games, but the games that scared me the most were one, Outlast.
Ooh,
the first one.
Really?
Okay. Yeah. It's that part when you go into the courtyard and it's pitch black and you have to pull out your camcorder and the wall rider is floating around the courtyard. And dude, Derek knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Like, it is one of the most stressful moments, and because it drags out and you can see that thing, you can only see it, the wall rider, when you're looking through your camera. So you're trying to stay battery power, so you're creeping through the grass in pitch black, and you're like popping it up in night vision, popping it down, popping it up in night vision, popping it down. And dude, I was fucking sweating my ass off for 10 minutes trying to get through this fucking courtyard in the mental institution.
He's very spooky. I didn't know what he was. I just looked it up.
Oh, dude, the wall rider is fucking terrifying. Yeah, and dude, so I played the game once, finished it, and I never touched it again. I was like, I'm not fucking doing that.
It's not a game you're really gonna replay.
Never moved on to Outlast 2.
No.
I played that whistleblower one where the guy wanted to chop your dick off or something.
Oh, dude, the groom. Oh god, yes, dude, the groom is fucking terrifying. Yeah.
No.
Oh, dude, there's this guy who wants to turn male prisoners into brides, and boy, oh boy, if body horror involving genitals is something that makes you squeamish, don't ever play that DLC.
Wow, that's an awfully specific subset of people, and not fucking all of us.
It is boo-hoo. So the other one for me would be PT. PT is by far probably the scariest fucking game I've ever played. What's that?
Doesn't it still stand for playable teaser? They never changed it.
I think so, yeah, pretty much. Dude, just the atmosphere of PT. I never deleted it because I love to bring people over to my house and like let it scare the I've seen people throw the controller in the air when Lisa pops up and they scream. PT is just an absolute masterpiece of atmospheric horror.
At least people have remade it in Unreal Engine and shit.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. People. I mean, shit, dude. People have remade it in Dreams on PS4.
True.
But that game was fucking terrifying. It's the only game where I have ever. That I called my wife. She was upstairs. Like, hey baby, you want to come upstairs and hang out? Why don't you come upstairs and hang out? And she's like, why? What's wrong? I was like, no. I just want you to come downstairs and hang out. I'm lonely and I want you to come downstairs. Are you scared? No, baby, no. It's like, no, I just want you to come. I just want you to come downstairs and be with me, please. Like, so somebody else go ahead. And yes, Peachy and Chad, did you guys see that she constantly follows you around when you run forward? Yes. And I'm never going to forget it now. Thank you for bringing that up, Peachy. Please.
Yeah, I did see that. I saw that Twitter.
Somebody else.
Okay,
Go ahead, Brandon. No, you
okay,
go.
I got Until Dawn was really cool for me.
Oh, that's
like,
a good one.
I'm not
Good.
a horror game fan. So like it's not like the scariest game, but I think it did like cool things with obviously with the controller. There's so many parts where it's like, oh, if you move the controller, like this guy might die forever.
Oh, yeah, I remember
Which is
that.
I found extraordinarily effective.
I did too.
It's way harder than you think it is to not move the controller at all.
I
Like,
think they patched it to make it easier, but like I played it at launch and it was a little bit more sensitive, I think.
I liked it that way.
Like I think people complained about it. Yeah, that it was too easy to like fail, and so they nerfed it in a patch. But the way it was at launch, it felt really good.
Well, and like the replay value of that game was just awesome because I mean you could kill everybody, you could have half the kids die, you could have them all live, and it just I love cheesy 80s horror films, Brandon, and that's why I loved Until Dawn. Like even though it ran like straight ass, like
that 25 frames per
Yeah,
second.
it really did.
it was so cinematic.
Yeah, it's cinematic.
But it was so fucking. How many times did you play through it, Brandon?
Just once.
Just once.
Yeah.
I am
same.
not one to replay video games typically at all ever. So if
Except for,
I
like,
play any game more than once, it means something.
How
It's
many times
funny, like I'll replay games that are like linear and don't have any branching paths, but I don't know, the ones that have like lots of decisions and stuff, I feel like the one playthrough I had, that's my story, and that's how things went for me, and I just don't like to.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. Yeah.
Tom, what about you?
I was gonna say, what is it? Until Dawn, but that's been touched. But also Siren Blood Curse.
Oh,
Ooh,
Siren games,
yeah.
fuck yeah.
Yeah, just because I don't have a lot to say about it. I'm just really into that brand of like traditional Japanese horror.
Japanese horror is fucking terrifying.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, dude. Oh, dude, I'll tell you, Tom. I'll tell you another good one. Another good Japanese horror game, Fatal Frame, the very first one.
Oh yeah, Fatal Frame's awesome.
Dude, Fatal. Like, I have been saying for the longest time, guys, that the fact that there is no Fatal Frame on the Switch right now is a fucking crime. Because
Yeah, you
imagine
can
like
use the accelerometer for
well,
camera
you could
thing.
use it in hand fucking camera.
Yeah.
Like it writes itself. I don't understand why we haven't seen that series come back on Switch. But man, dude, like watching those ghosts come up in the camera would freak me the fuck out. Oh god, that fucking game.
Oof.
Jeff, what about you?
I got a few I want to mention because two of them will be really short. The first one is really hard to describe because it's all environmental storytelling, but it's and I'm probably the only one on this episode that played it. It's the Ocean House Hotel in Vampire: The Masquerade Bloodlines.
Oh yeah.
It's
I've never
pretty.
yeah.
It's pretty early in the game, and it's just it's like a hotel that you go to, and there's just all these diary entries and stuff. And it's just like the level design is really cool. You kind of work your way up the hotel. There's like a little attic. You end up in the basement. There's like a laundry room in there, and you find these diary entries, and it just reveals the story of like this guy who went insane and like killed his kids in there, and like
Ooh.
stuck one of their heads in the dryer and cut his daughter up and like burned her in a hallway or something like that. And there's like there's spirits and stuff like going on. There's just like a lot of jump scares and stuff like that too. But the music and the lighting and stuff like that is really cool. But yeah, it's a hard thing to like really sell unless you play it. But anyone who's played it, like for sure, that's one of the most memorable levels in the game.
Yeah.
The other one I want to mention is the hotel basement in The Last of Us.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah.
That game is like tense, but I wouldn't call it scary. But that basement is fucking scary. Every time I played through the game, I played through the game 6 or 7 times, and every time I get to that basement, I like take a couple days because I just like boot the game up and I'm just looking at it. I'm like, fuck, I don't want to do this because I know I have to get that key card.
Jeff,
then
there's that one part where you start the generator, and I sit there. I always sit there for like I sit there for like 5 or 10 minutes because I don't want to do it. I'm like, fuck. Like,
and you just have to hoof
happen.
it to that door and get out of there. I think you can kill everything if you have like enough.
I've never even bothered fucking trying.
Yeah. And then shout out to the Silent Hill games, of course. I love all of them. Even 4 is, I think, really underrated. But those games, yeah, the atmosphere in those is unparalleled, and it's a crime we haven't got like a decent new one, and probably never will.
Hill.
Or like, PT, which was supposed to be fucking Silent Hills. But all right, we'll go ahead and move on to another question here. I have been waiting to answer this one all day. I fucking
Good.
love this question. This is from at Hypecaster on Twitch. Or on Twitter, I'm sorry, not Twitch. If Xbox and PlayStation had to launch their next gen consoles with a game featuring a breakfast cereal mascot, which would each company choose and why? This is a brilliant fucking question. So I mean, the obvious answer for me, like I'm gonna bend the rules just a little bit. I feel like a
It's already
Castlevania.
right out the gates.
No, hold on now, hold on, bear with me, Tom. I feel like a Castlevania style game, but with Count Chocula as the villain would be fucking awesome. Right? Like I don't know. What do you guys like? Count Chocula, and when he opens his cape, instead of firing fireballs, he fires pieces of wheat cereal and chocolate marshmallows. To me, I think that's what I want. Or you could have like a Kid Dracula style game and have Count Chocula as the actual protagonist. To me, it just fucking makes sense.
This is hard for me. We don't have a lot of your weird American cereals.
Wait, how fucking dare you insult our cereal, Jeff?
Well, no, like I just
From your
I've never
frozen
seen-
wasteland.
I've never seen Count Chocula on a shelf. I don't think we have it.
I mean,
That's
like,
weird.
I feel like
I can't process that.
I feel like the obvious answer to me is PlayStation would pick Tony the Tiger and make like a very like semi-open, like super serious,
Sad
of-
Dad Tony
right,
the Tiger
sad
game.
dad Tony
Sad
the Tiger
dad.
game.
No, if you're gonna do
Um,
that, no, but that doesn't.
no.
But Derek, no, if you're gonna, it's got to be a sports game. If it's Tony the Tiger,
I'm just
If you want a sad
picturing
dad-
him as
No.
Kratos now.
No,
I'm
it's
sorry.
got to be no. If
Or a
it's a sad
Dream Daddy
dad,
style visual novel.
no. If it's a sad, now that I can fucking see.
No,
That I can
'cause-
fucking see. But no, Derek. Here's the thing: if you want to do a sad dad breakfast mascot game, it's got to be the fucking rooster from the Kellogg cereal.
Well, no, here's what would happen, because we'd start with Tony the Tiger. There'd obviously be a tease for Captain Crunch, which would not come for another like 5 or 6 years. Meanwhile, Microsoft would misunderstand the question and make a game about M&M.
So we can all agree that like I saw somebody mention Captain Crunch. Captain Crunch as
Captain
Captain Crunch. Sorry, I'm sorry.
Captain Ferdinand Magellan
Captain
Crunch.
Crunch.
You will. He is a man of honor. You will.
I'm
refer to him
sorry.
as
I'm
full
sorry for
title.
disrespecting the good captain. Captain Crunch would absolutely be a fucking Assassin's Creed style fucking ship combat game.
Captain
It absolutely
Amerigo
fucking would.
Vespucci Crunch.
Did you guys know? I'm
Captain
learning this right
Christopher
now.
Columbus Crunch.
There
Oh,
have
the
been
triple-
That's
five.
probably real.
The Triple C.
There have been 5 separate mascots for Cookie Crisp. I am now learning.
Wait,
Wait,
there's
what?
not just the dog that
No, the dog is only since 2003. Before that, there was a fucking cop named Cookie Cop who was chasing.
but the
Cookie-
dog was the criminal.
Then there was Chip the dog, who was a thief.
This
Now
is-
there's Chip the wolf. And first, in 1977, there was a fucking wizard named Jarvis.
Fuck yes.
How do we go-
Wizard
Dude,
Fuck
Jarvis.
yes.
At
I
least there's
remember
this
That's pretty
weird
bad, I'm not gonna
recurring
lie.
theme of thieves and cops and canines and some combination. The wizard, though, where does he come out of?
Hey guys, real quick, I want to give a shout out to our boy Matt Piscatini in chat. Haven't seen you in here in a while, Matt. We
Project Com.
miss you, Matt. We miss you. So like
Matt, we left off NPD and we're talking about cereal.
we're talking about breakfast cereals, Matt.
I
So we
hope
can
you're
all agree,
proud.
like, a Battletoad style game starring the frog from Smacks. It just fucking makes sense, right? Like
Does
you
he
guys
have a
remember
name?
Smacks?
But player two has to be
Smacks.
the fucking bear from Sugar Crisp.
Wait,
Well, no, that was Golden
Buddy,
Grams. I thought the
Gold-
bear was Golden.
No, there's a just a weird. Look up the Sugar Crisp bear. He looks like his own generic version.
John, were you talking about Dig'em the frog?
Is that his name? Diggum? Diggum! Yes, it is
Is it
Diggum!
really?
Yes,
I
it's
didn't
Diggum!
know. I don't think I ever
Apparently, I have a
knew
really
that.
good knowledge of fucking cereal mascots. That
Hey,
I'm just now
Reb is in
learning
chat
about.
too. I've got Reb and Matt in chat. That makes me. Hi guys.
I would play a like a PlayStation 1 style 3D platformer starring the weird 1990s honeycomb mascot.
You wouldn't want a gritty checks question.
Okay, so obviously Lucky from Lucky Charms, he's got to be a platform, right? Like,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
he's
That's
a
gotta be
happy,
like a Rayman
whimsical
game.
2D
right?
platformer.
Yeah, he's jumping. What about the fucking bee from Honey Nut Cheerios?
I think that one would be a good 3D platformer.
I think
Yeah.
I think the bee from Honey Nut Cheerios is actually a mount
Dating sim.
Charms game.
Oh,
No,
Buzz?
no, yeah, Buzz.
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 Doom.
You actually so like he is a mount in the Lucky Charms platformer that you can ride over like big pits.
I'm
I
just
don't know
like
that I
I
like
feel
that.
like
He is.
Cheerios are a really good 3D platformer collectible, like just these little Cheerios.
Yes, that's
Like a-
fucking perfect. I
Actually,
love
you
this.
know what? Is there a B movie game? What kind of game was
Hey,
it?
look,
Should've been a
It was-
dating
it was a
sim.
platform.
the person who asked the question is yes, Hypecaster. We are talking about cereal as we speak. We're answering your question right now. Yeah,
There is a B movie game, and it is a 3D platformer, I think.
So
I want to. It would be a Buck Bumble remake.
a buck.
I have to admit, I'm not familiar.
Bring
with
it on.
John, what would you like to see Chef Wendell, the Cinnamon Toast Crunch chef?
Chef Wendell is Chef Wendell is like a Dr. Light style character. He's not the protagonist. He's like your mentor. What Chef Wendell is like the old. He's like the grandpa in every old JRPG where like the son leaves his house at the beginning of the game and he's like, go off and find your way in the world, boy. Like that's who Wendell is. He's like he's the old guy who sends you off on your adventure. That's who he is.
I want a GTA 5 style switch between multiple protagonists, open world crime game, but with with Snap, Crackle, and Pop, the Rice Krispies.
Perfect. Yeah, pitch that shit to EA.
Also, shocked no one has brought up Toucan Sam in this whole thing.
Nobody's brought up Toucan Sam, dude.
We have been on this question for quite a while, which only speaks to the quality of the question.
It's a fucking fantastic question. It really is. We should probably. I could talk about this question all night, but we do have to move on. Although I am glad Hypecaster while we were answering their question. So let's talk. So here's God, we got so many. Let's
How about
do
you want to see the Avengers one, John?
Yeah, fuck it, Jeff. Why don't you read it off?
So this is from Galadar on Twitter. I want to hear your thoughts on the news that they said Kamala Harris, but we all are under the assumption they mean Kamala
Pretty
Khan
sure you mean Kamala Khan.
is the protagonist for the Avengers game. Yeah,
I mean,
that's actually topical. That just came out this week.
I mean, if Kamala Harris is in the game, more power to her. I mean,
I'm just way into all the chuds being really angry about it.
Really upset.
I love
Yeah,
all of the fake ass comic book fan boys. All these fucking boys who don't read comics going, oh, they're forcing this. As if Kamala Khan is not the single best character Marvel has created in the last 20 years.
It's like, remember when they thought that they were forcing diversity recently by just inventing She-Hulk out of nowhere?
Right?
Yeah,
like She-Hulk hasn't been around, and also as if Deadpool's whole shtick wasn't basically taken from She-Hulk anyway.
Derek,
Right.
can you like, I don't read comics, I only watch the Marvel movies, so I have no
Yeah.
idea who this character is. Can you give a quick pitch or like sell like why should we be excited to play as Kamala?
Kamala Khan is Kamala Khan is everything that made Spider-Man great back in the day. Which is not to say Spider-Man is not great right now, but Spider-Man, I mean, Peter Parker has grown up. You can't keep him in high school forever. You can't keep him as a youth forever. He's been grown up, out of college, doing his own
If you're
thing.
Sony.
Well, that's true. But Kamala Khan is all of the qualities and personality traits that made Peter Parker so endearing to generations of comic books. She is young, she's bright-eyed, she's fun, she's funny, she has a good supporting cast of characters, she has this great dual identity thing, grappling with personal responsibility. Like, there's a lot of Spider-Man DNA in her. But she's a little bit more modern era. I mean,
well, here's the thing about Kamala Khan, and,
You know-
and like, it's oddly personal for me because even though I am a straight white man, I have a lot of Muslim friends, and I've served
Yeah,
a
I had a
lot
lot
of
of
Muslim
friends
Marines.
just like Kamala when I was in high school,
And
even.
well, I mean, I like I've served with a lot of Muslim Marines,
Yeah.
and men and women, and a lot of them grew up without any representation in in the superhero genre, and without any representation in American culture, period, for the most part. So now to see, and we like to talk about how, as a country, we haven't moved that far as sometimes we like to think we have. But to see not just a woman of color, but a Muslim as the protagonist in a mainstream, AAA Avengers game is fucking awesome, because now, Muslim men and women can look at this and say, we have a hero who represents us and who we can identify with and who we can look up to.
And honestly, the
And
way they deal with her faith in the comics and is great, because like it's very respectful to, like, she's basically a first generation Pakistani American. So her parents came over from Pakistan, and then her and her older brother, I think, were both born in the United States. So they're Muslim. Their parents are Muslim. Their parents are a little bit more like conservative and strict, but not in like a stereotypical or bad way. It's in a very like realistic way. But then she's very realistically like an American girl, kind of is dealing with both like kind of the rules of more strict like conservative Islam and wanting to live up to like her parents and her faith, but also like, I can go to parties and hang out with boys. I'm not gonna be, sleeping with them. Like, I don't even want to think about boys yet. Like, it's very like, she's just a good character, and everything about her is done very, very well. Parasite's creative, and she is just a little spark of light in everything she shows up. I'm very excited to see her in this. She brings a lot of heart to this
And
cast.
that's cool that you make the comparison to Spider-Man, because I thought the interesting part for me when they brought Peter into the MCU movies is that you've got all these 30-something guys, that are of a certain age, and to contrast them with someone so much younger and fresher and different from a newer generation, like, I think they play really well off each other. It creates an interesting relationship, and I think based on what you just described, I think could be said for this game here.
Yes. Yeah. And I think it's interesting too, because like it again, like Kamala Khan is very like her costume and her name are taken from Carol Danvers. Carol Danvers used to be Miss Marvel and she became Captain Marvel. And she took that because she's such a big fan of the superhero. Like, this is a teenage girl who sits around writing like superhero fan fiction of her real life superhero idols. Like, this is a very and in some cases it's very like, oh, of course she does, but like, she's a very realistic just teenage girl. And I actually think a lot of that hero worship kind of got put onto MCU Peter Parker. In a way that maybe wasn't present in those Golden Age Spider-Man comics actually in high school.
My absolute favorite thing this morning, Derek, were all the chuds getting mad about Miss Marvel, and what I kept seeing, and somebody actually like came at me about it. They were like, well, they're forcing her in there, and we're tired of this, this pandering.
I've been begging for her to get into things. You kidding me?
But here's the best part about this, right? Like, they're forcing her into the Avengers again. I'm like, okay, so let's ignore the fact that she is one of their best-selling characters. Five of her graphic novels have been in the top 5 of the New York Times bestseller list. She was the top-selling digital comic last year. And she's also fucking an established member of the Avengers for 6 years. But tell me more about how they're forcing an actual member of the Avengers.
One of the most requested characters in everything.
They have closed 50 comic book stores in the last year.
Oh my god, don't get me started on that, dude. Like, they've closed fucking 200 GameStops. Rest in peace, game industry.
Also, can we just back up? Like, nobody in our chat needs to hear this, but like the whole force thing, like, you can't force anything into entertainment. Like,
you can't.
In terms of characters, like, you sit down and you decide who the character is going to be in your game, and then you decide what race they are and what the relationships are. Like, you can't force it. It's like, this is what the character is.
It's the same process.
You make an Avengers game. You either pick Iron Man, or you pick Captain America, or you pick Kamala. Like, you're just making a choice. You can't.
I'm gonna play as Kamala because she's fucking awesome. Kamala Khan fucking rocks. She's got a cool power set.
There
What's
are
that?
a lot of crude photoshops of Kamala Harris as Kamala Khan. By
I've
the
seen
way.
this. Yeah.
Oh.
There are
Yeah.
a lot of them out there. I
I'm
googled it
cringing
as a-
already.
I googled it as a
That sounds awful. Yeah.
It
It's
sounds
pretty
like the
bad.
worst thing ever.
and it turns out nope, people are actually like way into it.
Hey, you know what I would like to do actually? Cam Koenig didn't have a question, but what Cam wanted us to do was shout out people who don't get a whole lot of recognition, and we got some people in our chat who actually fit that bill, and so I want to do that real quick. I'm going to highlight a few people in here. Badbit, right here in chat, does great. He's a small content creator. He deserves your time. He deserves your energy. Go check Badbit. If you want to drop your channel and your Twitter in the chat, feel free to do so. You guys should go check him out. He does really good stuff. Julian in chat. Julian actually does all of the music for SDGC. He's extremely talented, and you should if you know if
and
you
our gifts.
and our gifts. Yeah,
Yeah.
like Julian is very talented. He's just an awesome guy. Our chat mods, MIDI and RAR do a great fucking job. Of course, our chat is fucking wholesome and pure pretty much 100% of the time, so they don't have to work very hard. I also want to point out two incredible journalists who one is a member of this podcast. Rebecca Valentine does incredible work for GamesIndustry.biz. She's a rising star in the industry, and she does awesome work. And also our very good, very old friend, Sam Tolbert at Windows Central, who is a mainstay in our chat. He's been on before. Sam does incredible work, and you should all go check him out on Windows Central and on Twitter. He's just a fucking good guy. He's a nice guy. Is there anybody in chat I want to check out? I don't want to recognize Jeff Grubb, who's in chat. I don't want to recognize Jeff is dead to me. I don't accept Jeff.
What did my lord do?
Jesus.
He cheated at Overcooked last year. He
You
cheated.
just weren't good from what I've
He
heard.
cheated. I want you to eat my entire ass, Tom. Jeff
Not
cheated.
a lot of ass.
Jeff, it's really not.
What a
But
bum.
yeah, no, yeah, there are a lot of people in our chat and outside of our chat who deserve more recognition. I mean, I would recognize everybody in chat if I could, because you're all awesome. You've stuck by us through the years, and I really do appreciate that.
I want to give a shout out to Matt Piscatella. I think
Oh,
most,
good one.
Most of our audience knows who he is, but maybe we got some listeners who don't. Matt's just a great guy. He's just, yeah,
That's
he's
all
one of
he
the best
is.
people you can follow on Twitter. I can't recommend him highly enough.
All right, let's do another question. I'm
Let's go
done being
back
all
in the
sad.
barrel.
Fucking, I want to get raw again.
Back in
Let's-
the barrel.
What do we got here? We did the Adam Jensen question. We did Avengers.
Let's do.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, can I pick one, John?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Let's do famous Seamus. What's the funnest or funniest mistake you made in a game? For example, you went the wrong way during a quest, threw away an important item, or even killed a teammate by mistake when they were about to win the game.
Ooh,
I got to start this
Derek, please.
because I just did it today.
Oh, Derek.
I just did it today, streaming Mass Effect. There's a side quest in Mass Effect 1 where you're going to track down like a probe that has a nuke in it. You got to disarm the probe, and you get closed into the mountain by and some dude pops up who's all like, blah blah blah. You know, we've fought one time and you don't even remember me, and I'm blah, 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 bad guy. I was like, whatever. I'm gonna kick your ass as soon as I disarm this bomb and get out of here. Disarm the bomb. I get out. You have to take a back entrance because he blew up the main entrance. And you come out on the other side of this mountain range. Now, if you haven't played Mass Effect, a lot of these side missions take place on big, open, like, planet maps that are devoid of anything but shitty, hilly geography. And you take this vehicle called the Mako, which is like a moon rover with a turret.
I
stuck
remember
on
the
top.
Mako. Yeah.
What am I trying to say? So the Mako, you take it everywhere because the map's just too big otherwise. I came out on the other side of the mountain, and I thought, that motherfucker. I looked at my map, looked like the Mako was, I'm here and the Mako's here, and I'm like, I have to walk all the fuck way back to that Mako. So, walk up and down mountainsides for like 8 solid minutes straight on stream, cursing, swearing, you know, creatively inventing ways I'm going to hurt this man when I come across. And Sam was there for this. And I get to the other entrance, and the Mako is not there. And I look at the map, and I realized I'd misread the map. I was
You
actually
poor
walking
fucker.
away from it the entire time.
You dipshit.
So I had to reload my save entirely rather than
Oh my
walk
God.
back.
You suck.
And I sang "Hurt" in the style of Johnny Cash.
I
I hurt myself today.
I've got one for you, Derek. I got
Yeah.
one for you.
Hit me.
It was a very public mistake last year at the Kind of Funny tournament. I successfully made a pizza and just gave it away to Jeff Grubb because I put it on the wrong fucking table, and he went and served that motherfucker up and got the points. Appreciate it. That was great. Thank you for. I'm glad I was able to
It sounds
assist
like
you. in your-
he's just good at the game, and you're very bad at the game.
You know what? You know what, Tom? Why don't you shut your fucking mouth? Okay, please be quiet. Please be quiet. Just shut up.
Let's show some respect to our guests, John.
Yeah.
This isn't a guest. This isn't a guest. This is an
What if-
infiltrator.
What if
This
he
is
doesn't
it.
want to come back on after this, John? After your reviews?
Tom is gonna fucking. Tom is on whenever the fuck I ask. I'm like, Tom, you want to come on? Yeah.
He asked me literally 4 minutes before this show.
Yeah,
went
I was
live,
like, Tom, come on.
And I'm
Tom,
like-
let's do this.
And I'm like, I'm at the last stage of this Destiny strike. Sure, I'll just tab over.
All right. I can't. Reb is not even on the podcast tonight. She's chiding me in the chat. So I should stop yelling at Tom now. Reb, I don't like it when Reb yells at me. No, but seriously, like, I think one of the biggest mistakes I ever made in a game was, oh God, I accidentally deleted an entire save file in Xenogears once.
That's rough.
Yeah, and I was about 46 hours in to the
Oof.
first Xenogears game on 3DS, and I'm not gonna lie, I was playing it fucking wasted. I was playing it drunk, and I accidentally deleted my game, and I didn't even register for me. I just like closed the 3DS, and I was like, time to go to bed. And I laid down, and I fell asleep with my 3DS on my chest, and I woke up like all hungover, and I was like, ugh. And I went about my business. I got my coffee, got my water, and I sat back down. I was like, well, Vicky's out of town for the weekend. I'm gonna go back to playing Xenoblade on my 3DS. And I flipped it open, and my save file was gone. And I was like, what happened to my save file? And then I realized that I fucking deleted it, and I never fit. I threw my 3DS down the stairs, and I never
Jesus.
played Xenoblade again.
That reminds me of
Oh
how I
my
started
God.
a new save file in Breath of the Wild to show someone the opening of the game and didn't realize that I just completely
Oh,
overwrote
no! What a fucking oversight on Nintendo's part. I gotta say, dude. Like, that's
Yeah.
a disaster waiting to fucking happen.
It
Jeez.
also,
Does it warn you when you start a new game like this
Nope.
will delete?
Nope.
No.
It
at
just
least it
oh,
didn't
wow.
in the first month.
it just saves over it, Jeff.
And also just like a dumb Tom thing is I played the entirety of Control and was mopping up endgame content before I realized that if you go into like the save point, you can unlock new guns.
Oh my God.
you poor soul.
This topic is making me feel better.
Brandon,
Yeah,
Brandon had
So
a
here's
really
one,
recent
yeah.
one.
Oh my God. Grandia 2. I played on the Dreamcast like when it first came out. And it was
Okay.
still relatively new to JRPGs. Like I had played like all the FFs, Chrono Trigger and shit, but still relatively new. And so I was new to RPGs that weren't like Final Fantasy and shit, like Square Enix RPGs. So I played at least half of the game without upgrading magic at all, like spending any of the points that you get, whatever the ability points in that game are called. So I mean, fuck. That was like, and halfway through the game, I opened the menu and I'm looking through it and I'm like, this explains so much.
Why
it
is
is
this
not-
game so hard?
It is not. Grandia 2 is an infamous easy RPG. I think they added like a hard mode in the remaster version
they
that just
did.
came out. Yeah. It's like, well, I was like, why is this game so? It was so much harder than like Chrono Trigger or like anything else that I played before it. And yeah, it all made sense afterwards.
Although I will say, I will say just a little, but me and Brandon were running the Eden
This
Prime
wasn't
Savage.
funny. This wasn't funny, but it sure was a mistake.
Brandon kept killing the dancer in the pickup group we were in.
If anyone even knows.
Brandon and I were in Discord. We were playing together. I have never heard Brandon yell like that.
There's a phase of the boss where there's 8 orbs in like a clockwise pattern.
The orbs.
and each player has to stand in front of one. There's 8 players in the raid boss, so each player has to stand in front of an orb. And if one player is not in their orb, it will aim towards
It'll wipe half
another
the party
player.
base.
Yeah, it'll. So if you make the mistake, it doesn't punish you; it punishes someone else.
Yeah, you live,
which
but
then
somebody else
gives you
dies.
the guilt. Yeah, it gives you the guilt of like, oh,
Oh,
well,
that's awful.
yeah, it is.
I wrote down some of the words Brandon said to use later
so
myself. They
frustrating.
were so unique. Jeff, what about you, dude?
I got a couple. The first one, I might have told this story on this podcast before. I can't remember. It actually happened to a friend. I believe in Demon Souls, there's a vendor or an NPC who will hold your items for you. And if anyone knows anything about Demon Souls or Dark Souls, you can usually kill any of the NPCs.
Yeah.
So he was
Do
just
I
in
know
the
anything
next
If
to
about
you,
whatever.
like,
Demon Souls
let's say, lay the controller down on the table
Yeah,
in front of you
I
or
think
something.
he did. He accidentally set the controller down or something, just took a big
And it
old
presses
hack with
R2. Yep.
yeah, and murdered the NPC, and you
Yep.
can't just reload your save in that game. So the solution ended up being, and he was pretty far in the game, he had to get my friend to store his items for him. So they would go out and like summon each other, and then he would drop all his shit, and his friend would go back and store the items. And then anytime he needed them back, the guy would have to log back in. They'd have to meet up in a session, and he'd have to like give him his items back. And this
I
went on.
remember how careful I was in Bloodborne to not accidentally kill the doll. That, like,
Oh,
God,
like,
yeah.
Yeah, that could really fuck you up.
Yeah. I think
Um,
there's other. If you accidentally do kill the doll, I think there's other ways to level up. But
Oh,
There are more ways to fuck up in Souls games than there are any other game.
Any
it wasn't.
other
I
game.
didn't want to have to find another way to level up if it existed. So I was very, very careful whenever I was.
my other one was in Kerbal Space Program, which probably again a lot of people haven't played,
There's
but
a way not to fuck up at Kerbal Space Program.
there's many ways to fuck up, but this one in particular was a gigantic waste of time. So if you're good at the game, you can build a very efficient rocket and get to Mars. I think in the game it's called Duna or something like that. I'm not efficient. I don't really know what I'm doing, so I kind of brute forced it. And what I had to do was I basically had to launch into orbit around Earth, and I basically built a spaceship in orbit. So I would just launch with like 3 fuel canisters, put those fuel canisters in orbit. Then I would do another launch with 3 more fuel canisters, rendezvous with those, and I basically just started chaining like 100 fuel cells in orbit before I launched off to Mars, just to get me enough fuel to get there because my rocket was horribly inefficient. So I got to Mars and I landed, and this is like 70 hours into the game. This is like my crowning achievement. I couldn't believe I made it this far. And then I went to go back to Earth, but I messed up the staging. So like you set the staging in this game, which is like you basically press spacebar to advance to the next stage of what you want your rocket to do. So it'd be like stage 1 is fire the engines, stage 2 is separate the 2 pieces, stage 3 is fire the next set of engines. But I had the staging wrong, so I couldn't take off again. There was no way to manually ignite them because I had another thing blocking them.
You stranded them on Mars.
I stranded them on Mars, so
How
I
dare you.
I spent another 30 hours in the game building another rocket to go back and rescue them. And I managed to drop, like commandeer something down to the surface to get them back up and rendezvous with my other ones. But I'm not good enough at the orbital mechanics. I couldn't line up the orbits and I ran out of fuel. So now I have 2 different sets of 2 crew members in different orbits around Mars, completely out of fuel, just orbiting the planet for perpetuity until I can send a third
I'm sorry,
crew.
I spaced out. Are we talking about Kerbal Space Program?
Yeah.
All right, so basically, I commend you for getting to Mars because the moon might as well be a Kerbal graveyard as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, you just fire straight at it and just go crashing into the surface? Was that your approach?
No, I tried to land. It's just getting
yeah.
back off. That's the hard part.
Yeah, I was lucky. I streamed the game a lot, and I had people. I didn't know how to play it at first. I had some nice people in chat for a few weeks, teach me all the mechanics and stuff like that. So otherwise, I never would have figured it out.
Has anybody not answered this question? Tom hasn't, right?
Oh, I did. I talked about
You
control.
did. Right. Okay. Right. Okay. I just want to make sure because I know that Dio asked a question, but I don't want to cut anybody off if they hadn't answered already. Our good friend Dio, a long time listener and friend of the podcast. Dio, we love you, buddy. Dio's question was, what's the gaming related apparel item that you have and love the most or has a great story behind Well, as you can see, I've got a ton of stuff here behind me, and I've got stuff all around me. See, I've never really thought about this. I would say probably my Japan. I've got like my little Final Fantasy back here. Probably my copy, my Japanese of Final Fantasy VI for Super Famicom. Simply because everybody here knows what Final Fantasy VI means to me. I mean, honestly, anything Final Fantasy is my favorite. And anybody who knows me. So anything I have that's Final Fantasy related is going to be among the best, among my favorites, just because of what it means to me. I love that series, and yeah, I fucking love it. I am a sucker for Final Fantasy merchandise. If it's Final Fantasy related, I'll pick it up. Like my stupid fucking here, check this shit out. Like my here you go. My big fucking my Cactuar pillow here. This big chunky boy right here. I whenever I'm playing games down here, I cuddle with him. I love him. I wrap my arms around him because he's so soft. He's so soft, and he's so chunky. And I just Derek, when you come down here for Extra Life, you're gonna be cuddling with Chonky Boy here.
I'm gonna hug that cactus boy.
You're gonna hug the fucking shit out of him.
No question.
But yeah, any of my Final Fantasy gear is my fucking jam. Who wants to go next?
I worked here.
Oh, look at you! You did work at Nintendo,
and I love these. These are like the best polos I own. I still wear these at my news job.
It looks like, is that made out of? It looks like like one of those Under Armour polos.
It is. These are like really expensive athletic polos. Yeah.
Yeah, that's okay.
These are.
Derek,
I saw that shimmer. It's got that
Derek,
shimmer
are you able to talk about working at Nintendo at all?
Like a little bit. I don't have like the real fun stuff. I'm NDA'd and I can't talk about. But like, you know, it was a good time. It was kind of shitty like level 1 marketing mixed with, you know, some basic engineering stuff. It was kind of fun. The parties were amazing. I saw some things, you know, but I got like,
you saw some Guiji.
I saw some shit, let me tell you. But I have like 3 or 4 of these, and some of them are game branded. Like I've got one, I think I got a gray and a purple and a black of this, and then I have a navy blue Smash Brothers one, and I had a red Mario Kart one, but I gave that to Lena. So.
Oh, Derek, is Lena in chat?
I don't think Lena's in chat.
Why?
No,
Lena, where are you?
The purple one, and the Mario Kart one went to someone else.
I feel like I haven't seen Lena in chat in a long time.
Lena's girlfriend now lives with her and moved across the country, and they have no time for us anymore.
Priorities, Lena. I know Lena. I know for a fact she'll listen to this.
No, I know. Yeah.
Lena, priorities, my dear. Priorities, please. We just miss you. Who wants to go next? Who's got some fucking gaming sweat? Tom?
I was answering a work email. What was the question?
Oh, Jesus Christ, Tom.
I'm sorry.
This is no time for fucking GameRanx, Tom.
Always on call.
This isn't GameRanx, Tom. You're on fucking SDGC right now. Dio wants to know, what's the gaming-related apparel that you have and love the most, or has a really good story behind it?
Oh, the gaming apparel that I love the most?
You've got some good shit, too.
I do. Not apparel, but I'm very excited about it. I said it to you, John. I got the, oh, that rules. This is not apparel. This is just gaming-related swag that I've gotten.
Oh, yeah, that's what
I just got the Taco Bell 1X yesterday.
Oh my god, talk about this. Yes, please.
And when you fucking turn it on, it makes the Taco Bell bomb.
I fucking love it. I fucking love it.
And like I feel like video game apparels. All right, so I feel like the standard go-to answer is like the Cyberpunk jacket. It's a very cool looking jacket. I get a lot of compliments on it, but like I don't know, man. I don't really wear a bunch of video games. Oh, the coolest thing is actually when I bought it is from Supergiant 2 or 3 years ago when they sold a metal t-shirt style of shirt for Pyre.
Oh, cool. I fucking love that game.
And it's just really cool. It's just black with like the distressed white like metal print on it. It's really cool. Other than that, yeah, like basically anytime I get like a video game like t-shirt or something, I just give it away.
Dude, I just want a fucking Xbox that makes the Taco Bell noise now. Like that's all I want. Like fuck that
They sent that that Elite controller too, and I didn't get to keep it. Someone else took it, but it feels very good. I can't wait to buy one.
Dude, when it made when you turn your Xbox on and it made the Taco,
Oh,
just sit there and
it came with a code for an exclusive Taco Bell wallpaper and theme.
like, dude, what was your reaction when you heard the bell? Though
I lost my mind.
Dong. Oh my god, I fucking love it. Who hasn't gone? Jeff, you haven't gone, right?
Yeah, I don't really ever. I've never had like gaming apparel or merchandise, so I guess I just bought my first. I don't know. It's a doll. I don't know if you call it an action figure. It's a doll. I bought an Estinian figure from Final Fantasy 14.
Oh,
Which
nice.
our boy Finn tipped me off to. I didn't even know it existed, and yeah, it was like $100, but
really,
really happy with the quality on it.
And Brandon, what about you, bud? Have you?
Yeah, I got something. Like I have a 15-year-old Ninja Gaiden black T-shirt that I got for wearing it. I don't remember where. I think Amazon.
Wait, Julian's leaving? Julian, see you later, buddy.
Oh, I was just recently given a promotional T-shirt for Rogue Warrior.
Wait, recently?
Rogue Warrior.
Yeah, like I have a friend who's been in this for like a long time.
Oh my god.
And he was moving and he was going through boxes and he's like, "Do you want any of this stuff?" And I saw a Rogue Warrior T-shirt, which was made like a band T-shirt with like a list of like just phrases and like curse words on the back of it. And it's so tight. I'm like, I will pay overnight shipping. I don't care. I just want this this fucking Rogue Warrior T-shirt.
I actually
respect it,
at last year at PAX West, I actually saw a guy walking around in a black shirt, a black T-shirt, and on the front, it had the infamous Daikatana ad that said John Romero's about to make you his bitch. And dude, I didn't have time to stop the guy, but I wanted to stop him and be like, "Where did you get that shirt? And how do I get one?"
That is a
I'm
hot
like,
commodity right there.
I had no idea they were putting that shit on a shirt. Fuck.
Had to be like special made from like ThinkGeek or some shit.
I just want to like I just want to wear that in front of
WordPress.
I just want to.
What
What's
is that
that?
website that you can make your own like fucking clothes?
Oh, it's a Teespring.
There's probably a bunch of those, but yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a ton of those fucking shirts.
Yeah, there's probably like a custom made one.
Waypoint in chat says, "I got a block from Boogie and I want to put that in a shirt."
Actually, that's funny, John. Because I actually wanted to ask one of Waypoint's questions on Twitter.
Okay, go ahead.
So has there ever been a game that you had zero expectations for but ended up loving, even considering it one of your favorites?
Yes, absolutely.
I got one.
Not like bad expectations, just like zero, like didn't know anything about it.
A couple weeks ago, and that would count for me.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's a good one, Brandon.
Because I totally wrote it off and I had no expectations for it. I gave it another chance and loved it.
I got a good one. Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle.
Yeah.
I had no fucking idea what to expect from it. I was like, okay, we'll just see what happens. And that game fucking rules. It was one of my favorite games of 2017, and I am Davide Soliani. I am fucking begging for a sequel for that game. Like, give us another Mario plus Rabbids. That game was fucking 10 times better than it had any right to be, and it showed a clear love and reference for the world of Mario and all of Miyamoto's works. And his reaction when Miyamoto-san recognized him at the Ubisoft conference, that E3, when he just broke down into tears, like really fucking moved me. And that's kind of when that's when I was like, maybe I should keep my eye on this. And that game just fucking turned out to be incredible. If you haven't played Mario plus Rabbids, do yourself a fucking favor, go play it tonight. It's fucking awesome. Please.
Yeah, deeply loved. I got a good one from this year. The Outer Wilds, not
the
Outer Worlds, but the Outer Wilds, which is a relatively compact. It has more in common with games like Myst than anything else. It's a kind of an exploration and mild puzzle solving focused game. But I went into this going, oh, okay, this would be a fun little distraction. And the more I spent with it, the more engrossed I became, at like an exponential curve, until by the end it was like maybe one of the most impactful things I've played in the last several years. And
It's my game of the year.
yeah, I think
Really?
I think it might be mine. I mean, I like to separate like indie and indie level stuff from AAA stuff, because they're just such different arenas to be playing in. But without question, Outer Wilds is my small scale game of the year so far. And it is breathtaking and haunting and fucking devastating. I don't know how else to explain it.
You could also
beautiful
be describing
experience.
our friendship.
That's
Derek.
true. That's true. And in the end, you feel kind of empty and wondering.
You feel
what just
unfulfilled and
happened.
empty inside, but you're also glad
Yeah.
you
Yes, and that is exactly the Outer Wilds. It just got released on like everything else that it wasn't on before. Right? I know it's on PlayStation now. I don't know if it's on Switch.
It's coming to Switch, right?
I don't know.
Or am I thinking of the Outer Worlds?
Outer Worlds
I know-
definitely isn't. There's
Outer,
no
I know
way.
Outer
No,
Outer
yeah.
Worlds is coming to Switch.
What?
It is.
That's awesome.
Yep.
But yes, the Outer Wilds is
That game is gonna look like hot shit on
Yeah.
Switch.
Yeah.
I beg people, if you get the Outer Wilds, do not look into it. Do not look anything up. Just get in there. Nothing in there is so obtuse you can't figure it out. But you want to know nothing. That's what I got.
Maybe I need to play this. I
You
would
do.
play this
You
if there
do.
weren't so many other fucking games that I'm trying to juggle right now. Like I'm overwhelmed. Dude. I'm fucking overwhelmed. I'm trying to get through Dragon Quest 11S. I've got fucking Final Fantasy 14 to do. Got the new fucking event that just started today, Brandon, the Halloween event. Brandon,
It's
and Jeff.
good. I did it.
What are the rewards, by the way? You know?
Yeah, an Arimon mount with like a Halloween hat, like a sort of magic hat, and some like stuff for your house.
Oh, Brandon, did I tell you I got my Falcon mount?
Yes, I saw your tweet.
It's so fucking good, dude. It's
Yeah.
so fucking good. So we're at an hour and 15 minutes. And I saw that we had some questions in chat, but I think what we're gonna do is save those for the morning show tomorrow. Of course, we will be doing the morning show. Myself, Derek, and Reb. I think Reb is in for the morning show tomorrow.
I believe so.
I
Yeah.
think she said.
Yeah. I think she said she was in tomorrow. That, of course, as always, will be at 9:00 Eastern Standard. Reb is, yes, yay. So we'll be doing that at 9:00 Eastern Standard Time tomorrow morning. And bring your coffee, bring your breakfast, start your weekend off right with us. And before we get out of here, Derek, what do we have coming up soon? I feel like there's something.
We got some stuff. We got
We
one.
do
We
have
got a
some
big
shit.
thing coming up for sure. So other than some new content dropping over the weekend that we'll talk about when it comes, the big thing is November 2nd is Extra Life, and SDGC. We got some big plans. I'm actually driving out to meet up with John, and we are going to do a 24-hour live stream of various games. The schedule has been posted on Twitter, but the long and the short of it is, starting at 7 a.m. we're doing Overcooked. Then we're doing Hyperdimension Neptunia, which everyone's really
Great.
excited to see me.
That
make
seems
John play.
everybody seems to be excited for me to play this.
Yeah, dude, it's not a good game. It's actually
Great.
sad because it's a mediocre game. It's not even like a bad game. It's just you're
Derek,
gonna hate it.
I have
very
not looked it
uniquely.
up. I have
Did
not
you
looked
see?
it up.
Did
I
you
haven't-
look at the? But you saw the
I
picture
saw
of it.
Derek. Is it an anime titty game?
No, there's no.
Oh, you're not
real
gonna make
sub-
him play
no.
Subverse?
No.
Derek,
No.
Derek, what? You know what? Just please continue. It's fine.
Yes. After that, we're gonna cleanse our palate with some Yakuza 0. Which
Hold
John
on
has
a
never
minute.
played.
Wait. Mr. W chat says Hyperdimension Boy FBI alert. Derek,
No.
what have you gotten me
There's-
into?
Isn't it like I think it's a T-rated game. There's nothing in it that's.
Everybody seems to like flip out and be like, "Oh boy!" Whenever you say that
It's,
I'm playing,
It's not inappropriate. It's incredibly cringy.
You're looking down at your keyboard right now, and it's not filling me with confidence.
Look. There are people who get a lot out of this game, but I mean, they have things deeply wrong with
great,
them.
great.
but yes,
Please
we're-
continue, Derek.
Yakuza 0 will come after that, which John has not played. And
Never.
I
Oh,
think,
John, you are in for a fucking treat. You want to
Yeah.
play some anime Sopranos because you're
yeah,
gonna.
dude,
Jesus
you are gonna
Christ.
actually
Anime
love Yakuza.
Sopranos. That's good.
Yakuza 0 is actually one of the best games this generation, and you're gonna fucking love it.
Okay.
You're gonna fall in love with it. After that, we have Gundam Breaker 3, which is just a really solid, really good kind of hack and slash and shooter action game with a shitload of customization that I think we're gonna have a lot of fun with. John's gonna have a lot of fun with, despite knowing probably nothing about Gundam. You're gonna.
I know the robots.
I'm sorry,
I know
which
they're
one are you
Max.
showing him?
Gundam Breaker 3. We're gonna play
Oh,
Gundam Breaker 3.
I also highly recommend the Gundam Versus on PS4.
Yo, I love it, but there's no local co-op that kills
Oh,
me.
there's not?
No, it's only online co-op. That makes me
Fuck.
really upset because I used to love playing the Gundam Versus games local co-op, but that's an aside. After Gundam Breaker 3, Luigi's Mansion 3 will have just been out for like a day or two.
We're gonna fire that up for the first time.
And the timing wise, that's gonna be like 11 at like 11 p.m. to 2
Gonna
in
get
the
a little
morning.
spooky.
Gonna get
Gonna
a
get a
little
little spooky.
spooky in here.
And then what do we
then-
have after that, Derek?
And then after Luigi's Mansion, we are going all the way in on garbage.
We are gonna unload the dog shit.
We're gonna find a bunch of just absolutely fucking trash, like $1 and less than $1 Steam
Yeah.
games, and we're gonna go in.
We're gonna
on
go fucking
bad-
at this part. At this part, we'll have been up for about what 20 hours.
21
We'll be
hours.
we'll probably be fucking hammered. Yes, Dio. So I
Crypt
think
of the
Dio.
Serpent King is one
Yes,
of them.
he's
for sure.
Dio is referring to Crypt of the Serpent King. That is going to be one of them. And Sam knows exactly what the fuck that means. It is going to be. We're gonna find the. I'm talking like the bottom of the
I
barrel.
might go on Steam and
like,
just go games, sort price low to high.
yeah,
They,
find
the
they
bottom.
added, just so you know, they did patch in online multiplayer, I believe, to the Garfield racing game.
That's another good possibility. That's another good one, Derek.
Wow.
We could totally do the Garfield racing game, but all that is going down. Derek, you gonna live?
No.
Okay.
That last one got
Well,
me a little bit.
but before Derek
hit different.
before Derek passes away on the live on the podcast here, I just want to thank everybody for coming on with us, hanging out with us. We decided not to do any big topics tonight. We just wanted to hang out with everybody and answer some questions. We got a lot of good ones that we didn't get to. That we will try to get to tomorrow morning on the morning show. Tom, it's been too long, buddy. Thank you for joining us, bud.
Yeah, anytime.
You're not a guest, bud. You're a friend. You're a friend, which is why I feel
Aw.
which is why I feel okay yelling at you.
Yeah, he just calls me that so
Because-
he can yell at me.
Yeah, I literally hit up Tom like 5 minutes before. I'm like, fuck it. All we're doing is answering questions, dude. You want to join us?
Let's go.
Yeah. Tom's like, all right, I'll fire my shit up. But does anybody have anything else they want to throw out there before we call it a night?
Nah.
Nah, everybody's good. Jeff, Brandon.
I'm good.
I just want this thing to end so I can play the Halloween event in 5
Did-
minutes
Jeff-
before
It's
Jeff-
real
Steam.
good. It's really good.
I
Really good.
love that Jeff is in love with Final Fantasy. Jeff, are you like me? Like I regret not playing this 3 years ago.
Well, see, I have played it though. This is my fourth
Same.
time playing it.
Yeah,
always
like I
tapped
gave
out
I
of it.
gave it a shot. It took me 2 tries
Yeah.
to get into. Yeah.
But actually, I should have mentioned that for like the game with zero expectations, because I'm the guy who like I don't like any game more than 10 hours. I only like single player, cutscene heavy, linear, like story based games. So who would have fucking known that I would have loved an MMO?
Yeah.
But
But it's so good.
yeah, it's really
It's
good.
So fucking good. Famous Seamus in chat says great. No, you're all great. And without any
You're all
further ado,
breathtaking.
you're all breathtaking. You're all breathtaking. And without any further ado, don't forget tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here. It's not always poetry, and we don't always agree, but we always keep it real. So until we see you again, take care of each other.